Okay, class, we're going to do a little video in screen here. I just want to give you a few reminders. This should be Tuesday, day 2 of the PBL, where we're going to take a look at making some laws. So the first thing I want to remind you of is for honors, make sure you get that next part of your essay complete. It is due by the start of your class on Friday. And for everybody else, make sure your document of the week is in by the start of your class on Friday. That was shared with you again on Monday. And a lot of you last week didn't get that done. There will be one makeup opportunity for you, just like normal at the end of the quarter, which is going to be pretty quick, but make sure you get those done. Those are easy points. But for today and tomorrow, the focus of the next 2 days is to complete the pre-planning part of the PBL. So real quick, I'll just remind you that our objectives for all of this is to basically identify the facts that back up a concern or issue with one of these major objectives. And this objective is going to make a lot more sense when you get a little bit deeper into the project. So I'm going to do a different share here with you so that you could see the form that you're about to be assigned. So we'll share screen with the PBL or modified law development. It's a little bit different than what I did last year, but it still should do the trick for us. Okay, so today you're going to click on this form. Now, you should already have a partner. If you think you have a partner, it's already been approved by me. If you don't know anything about a partner, you don't have one because unfortunately, either you didn't want one, which is fine, or you didn't follow the directions yesterday about how to pick one. So if you are solo, you don't have to worry about this next part. But if you were in a group, you have to list everybody's name in that first question. Okay, it says in this first question here, who are you working with? Now, the reason that's so critical is because when this form gets turned in, I'm only going to get it the email address of the person who clicked submit. You're allowed to have just one person click submit if you're working with 2 or 3 people, if it's been approved. If you have not talked to me about this, and then you just all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm going to work with these people, and I didn't approve it, I'm only going to give credit for this assignment to the person that submitted it. So you want to make sure you've cleared it with me first, because I want to make sure we have, there's just a lot of reasons, but that's why we had no real work on Monday. All you had to do was let me know if you were going to work in a group. So if you were working in a group and it was approved by me, you just list everybody's names right here in this first question. The next question is pretty easy. You know, you have to verify that you have some way to meet somehow, some way, so that one person isn't doing all the work for 2 or 3 people. Then the next part is you're completing research. And again, we previewed this a little bit yesterday, but I want to go through. This is what we're expecting of you. I want to make sure you have the details. So I give you 2 websites to use right into the form. You can use other things as well. But what I need to know is your real life, you know, where you live. Almost all of you are in Sandusky. There's a few that open enrolled from outside, but take where you live and you find the actual House of Representatives representative for the district of Sandusky. Now, I should be saying our district, but in Norwalk, I'm on the other side of that line, so I have a different district representative than you do. And it has to be in the national level. So in the House of Representatives, the U.S. House of Representatives, who is the representative for you? Do not put the Ohio State House. That gets a little confusing. You only have one representative in the U.S. House of Representatives. And I need their name and political party, and then either their email or mailing address. I don't care which one, but I need one of those 2. And you bounce around their websites, you can find it. Then tell me, and you're going to end up doing this twice, so you can figure this out. I need the name of the senators that represent all of Ohio. U.S. Senate. So again, I don't care about the state Senate. It's the U.S. national senators. There's 2. It's the same for all of us, because even if you live in Cincinnati, Cleveland, Norwalk, or Sandusky, there's 2 senators for the state of Ohio. So you've got to get the names of those 2 individuals, their political party, and their address. Okay, so that's the same for all of us. Then after you do that, I've asked you to choose a state that you're going to pretend to be from. Now, the other questions were really about our real life Ohio. The state you pretend to be from cannot be Ohio. This should also be approved so that we don't have too many duplicates. but let's say you chose Alaska or Hawaii or Wyoming. I choose some other state. This is where you're going to pretend to be from in our Congress. So all of these questions in section 3 are about the state you've chosen to pretend to be from. So you tell me the state you pretend to be from, and then I want the current population of that state. So there's 320 million people in the United States, and about 11 million in Ohio, and different states have more than that. A lot of states have less than that. I need the exact population for that. The next two is I need you to tell me a little bit of something about the state. I need 2 facts, one here and then one here, that is verifiable. I want numbers. I want some sort of statistic. I want you to do a little research into the state and tell me, oh, they have the highest unemployment rate, or they have the most coronavirus victims, or they have the most people, and then give me that data, a percentage or this many number of this, or maybe it's a positive thing. We produce more cars than any other state, or it doesn't matter to me what it is, but it has to be a verifiable fact. You'd be wise to cite here. There's other parts where you must cite, tell me where you got the information. Because if I look it up and I find different information, I'm going to mark you wrong. So if you show me where you found it and it's a reputable website, we're all set. So verifiable facts, numbers, statistics. What's the unemployment rate of that particular state? Figure out their number one thing that they make in that state and tell me how much they make of that every year. So finally, when you're done with that, I want you to read over these standards. These standards here are the ones that we're covering. And the only reason I'm allowed to do this PBL is that I can go to Mr. Talbot and I could say, well, we're doing this because it covers these objectives. And he goes, oh, okay, you could do that. Whatever you end up focusing on to write your mock law, your fake law, it has to somehow tie into one of these 3 objectives. I'm going to tell you that if you're at all creative, you could tie a lot of things into these 3 objectives. It may sound constraining to you, but man, I've had some really clever connections made by students to all kinds of things that relate to these 3 objectives. So really what you should be thinking is, if I were in charge, that's the whole idea of the PBL, what law would I change? Once you figure that out, then see how easily it ties into this and how much of a stretch it's going to be to just tell me, oh, this is what it is. Now here, I don't need the law. At this phase, all I need is the general topic. Oh, I want to do something about school. I want to do something about gun control. Oh, I want to do something about coronavirus. I want to do something about national security, flying in airplanes or something like that. Whatever it is, I just need the general topic today. And that's it. That's the whole guide. It's 10 points. I'm going to give you 2 class periods to do it. I suggest doing it earlier as opposed to later because, especially with this last part, you might get some feedback and have to sort of change course. The next thing coming up then will be topic selection, where we'll officially take this and say, okay, is this a good enough idea? And then I'll help you move forward to that, and you'll fill out a form. Then we'll move on to actually writing the law. So hopefully this is pretty straightforward. You can always email me questions. I'm also live in a class, or available for each class to be live, 10 to 10:30, 1st through 7th, Monday through Friday. Ask me any questions, no problem at all. I think this document, or this form, should be easy to fill out. Get it done right away, and we'll get a good start on this PBL and see what kind of laws you guys are going to write. Okay? All right, very good. Get those documents of the week done. Get going on this form, and I can't wait to start reading about some of your research. All right, everybody, have a good day.